Okay, for this part, after we have our lanyard all sewn, okay, our top stitched on both sides, we now need our keychain ring and the lanyard. Okay, so with your strip of material, okay, you're going to fold it in half. Okay, and you're going to fold it opposite. Yes, you're going to fold it opposite. Okay, so I want the black to be on the outside and the white to be on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to fold it in half. Make sure that you did not, like, fold it or have it turned the wrong way, so make sure it is all one way. Now is the time, before you go to the sewing machine, now is the time that you want to put the keychain ring or the D ring into your lanyard. Okay, I'm going to put it at the very top of my lanyard for right now. I will need it later, but not yet. Okay. Some of your fabrics might have this little white piece. Okay, that's called the salvage. That is okay for this project because we're actually going to be putting that on the inside. So, if it bothers you, you can certainly cut it off. So like for mine, I might cut a little bit off, but for tutorial purposes, I'm just going to leave it on because I'm probably going to be sewing about right there anyways. Okay, so I'm going to put them together. You do not need any pins at all for this next part. I'm going to go to my sewing machine and again, you're going to top stitch it. And actually, I am going to cut it off. If you want to cut it off at school, that's fine. Please make sure that you use the black handled shears. Mine are orange. It just depends on what kind there are. Okay, that's all I cut off, just the portion that had not for it, basically saying that it's not fireproof. So, it will catch on fire. Okay, so that means I have to remeasure it, go down a tad bit. There we go. Okay, I'm going to line them up, and I'm going to top stitch this little bit here just to sew them together, not fuse them together. But I'm going to do this 3 times. So I'm going to sew it normal, back stitch all the way to the very beginning, and then sew it normal again. So again, my presser foot is down. I'm going to sew it normally right to the edge. I'm going to go down. Okay, it's not hitting the fabric, but that's okay. That's why you really want to go slow and kind of pay attention where things are at. Now I'm going to back stitch or reverse stitch. So my reverse is up here. Okay, it has that little arrow to it. And I'm going to back stitch all the way to the beginning. And I just went over that same area. And now I'm going to forward stitch the rest of the way. Just like before, back stitch a few, and then close it off. Okay, my take up lever is not up, even though my needle is. If I were to take it out now, it wouldn't come out. That's why you have to turn that hand wheel. The machine has to finish up that stitch, and then the take up lever will be up, and I can pull it out. Okay, this is the time that you want to cut off any of your loose strings or thread. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, now we need our keychain, and we're going to flip it. Okay, so how I have my white on the outside, I want them on the inside. just gonna flip it where the black is on the outside. That means down here, here's my keychain. I'm going to flip it. So now you can see my stitching is going to be on the inside. And I have my black thread on the outside. Okay, I'm going to move this as close as I can to the bottom because I'm going to need this area to stitch on. Okay, so did that. I can tell that this is where my keychain ends. So I cannot put that right underneath my presser foot or else it's going to ruin it. So I have to go a little bit up over here. Okay, so I'm going to put this in my machine. Again, I don't need a pin, but if you would like to put a pin in, you certainly can. So if I were to put this down, okay, you can see that I'm going to be putting this down right onto my keychain. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to move it over until my keychain hits about a 1/2 inch mark. On all the machines, there is a 1/2 inch mark. So if I were to put the presser foot down, it's not hitting that keychain, and I have enough wiggle room in there so then that keychain can twirl around. Okay, so again, I'm going to forward stitch once, back stitch, and then forward stitch. I'm gonna move it just 10, there we go. And I'm doing the same line. I'm gonna finish that off, put it down. I'm gonna reverse or back stitch, again going over that same line again. And then my third time, I'm gonna go all the way to the end. Back stitch a few. And then I need to turn my hand wheel to make sure it is all the way up. Also, my take up lever is up. Lift my presser foot up. Take it out. And then I'm gonna cut my strings off. So when you cut your strings or your thread, you want to get as close as you can to it, or else they will catch. Okay. So that's a little bit looser than I like, but it does give it that breathing room. So if you were to wash your lanyard, which I strongly suggest you do, it might shrink a little bit, especially here. You have that little wiggle room. So, yeah, your lanyard is done. You're gonna turn it in, and there you go.